Starting off this countdown, we have the glitching cat. Either this cat is walking on an invisible treadmill or it was caught glitching. Recently, this video was uploaded to Reddit and it features a cat walking but staying perfectly in one place. So you might be thinking, aw, poor kitty, the ground must be slippery for them. And that's why it's having trouble walking. No, because a couple seconds into the video, a confused man walks by and the cat stops, turns to him, and then walks in his direction. But then it turns back and starts walking in the spot again. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? Or should I say glitch in the Meowtrix? Sorry, I hate myself. In our 9th spot, we have the television. Posted on Reddit by user Spice Rack, he was trying to take a photo of his kittens when he caught a huge glitch on camera. They explained that they were trying to capture a photo of the hidden cat on the gray blanket. When he showed his friends, they're like, yo dude, look at your TV. Turns out that the TV screen is showing a different image than its reflection in the mirror. Now, a lot of people tried to debunk this. He thought maybe he took the photo sideways with a professional camera, since cameras snap the photo from up to down. That could explain the change. But the poster verified that it was taken horizontally with an LG G5 with a 135-degree wide-angle lens, hence why the door at the side looks a bit warped. He didn't use panorama, and no stitching was involved, and it wasn't done intentionally. This was taken as a single shot. Quite weird, huh? What are the odds? Moving on, at number 8, we have the disappearing motorists. No, this isn't proof of teleportation. They aren't driving into a portal and transporting somewhere miles away, although it certainly looks like that. I don't know about you, but when I first saw this video, I was mind blown. Like, I really thought they were going to be driving off the road and into the water. Now, someone on Reddit has managed to debunk this one. Seems as if whoever is filming this is high up on a building looking down, and the water we see is actually just the top of a wet building. But the way it's angled makes it look like they're really going under a bridge and disappearing. Let me know if you see it now. In our 7th spot today, we have the sky glitch. Posted by Reddit user Grimsby545, they were headed to their friend's house when they legitimately saw the sky glitching and took a picture of the moment. Look at that! The sky didn't know if it was night or daytime. Now, I have seen the sunset, but I have never seen the sky do something like this. Now, some think that it's just a giant cloud blocking the sky. If it is, then that's one massive dark cloud, like it literally blocked the sun and majority of the sky. Either way, it looks like a glitch in the Matrix where the nighttime sky didn't load completely. Moving on, at number 6, we have the broken bracelet. Now, this is probably one of the weirdest glitches in the Matrix of all time. So, Reddit user Miss MXSN posted on Reddit about how she found a bead from her bracelet on her floor while sweeping. She immediately thought, oh no, my bracelet broke. But it didn't. The bracelet still had 15 gems and 15 turtles on it. But all of a sudden, she had this extra turtle bead. Plus, the bracelet was perfectly fine. Now, people immediately shared a number of different theories with her. One was that her bracelet broke and someone in her family bought a replacement one so that she wouldn't notice. Only problem with this is that she claims she never takes this bracelet off and it was bought while she was on vacation, so it's not just from a local store. Another person thought maybe the bead had a fine crack in it and it slipped off the string. But like she said, she always had 15 turtles on the bracelet, and that's how many she still had. Plus, upon inspection of the turtle bead, there were no cracks or flaws. So something glitched and she ended up with an extra bead. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the cat dog. This is another video making its rounds on TikTok right now. Let me show it to you. So it appears as if the camera person's neighbor's dog is up on the roof. But you might be thinking, where is its body? Well, it looks like it's just peeking its head up onto the roof to see what's going on, right? Wrong. Let's see the full video. That's right, it's a cat, folks. The whole time, that was a cat. So this cat has a dog's face on its backside. How trippy and glitchy is that? That's a plot twist no one was expecting. In our 4th spot, we have the doubled up cars. Now, what are the odds of 2 of the exact same cars parking next to each other? And not in a dealership parking lot. Having the same make and model and color of the car being parked right next to you is pretty rare, right? Now, what are the odds of another set of identical cars being parked behind these identical cars? It's a very slim chance of this happening, but it happened in real life. So not only are the two blue Audis identical, but check the cars in the back as well. You got two identical Range Rovers back there. Someone out there really said copy paste, copy paste. Coming in at number 3, we have the spawning in. Now this video is another one going viral on TikTok right now, and it's baffling a lot of people. But basically, a security camera caught a man appearing out of nowhere. Check it out. Is this evidence of a man using his teleportation skills? How on earth did he just spawn out of nowhere? Now, of course, he could have been hanging out of the side of the van, or he jumped out while the van was still in motion. But if that was me and I jumped off of a moving van, I would have been like, whoa, try and get my balance. But this guy was standing still, not off balance or anything. So let me know what you think. Did he jump out of a moving van and stick his landing? Or is he a teleporter? Or both? Coming in at number 2, we have the triplets. Bus passengers were shocked when they got on a bus and saw 3 identical looking men sitting in a straight line and all asleep. These men are complete strangers, yet they somehow all got on the same bus, all sat behind each other, and all decided to take a wee snooze. I just can't get over the fact that these men aren't related. Like, the first 2 could definitely pass as twins. This is just weird. Like, what are the odds? And in our number 1 spot today, we have the crossword ladies. If you thought that last picture was crazy, wait until you take a look at this one. These ladies are complete strangers, yet they look like twins and they're both dressed identically. They both are rocking some black pants with the exact same patterned blouse. They have glasses on their face and they both have a pair of dark sunglasses on the top of their head. Not only that, but they both have a love for crosswords as they are both doing one. Like, someone will look at this photo and think that it was set up, but no, these women are complete strangers. Again, literally somebody said, copy paste. Starting off this countdown, we have the ladies on the bus. Imagine hopping onto a bus only to realize that it's filled with identical looking women. The odds of that happening are very slim, but alas, it has happened. This individual was on a bus filled with women, all wearing similar outfits, a beige trench coat and dark jeans, and they all had the same blonde dyed hair. Not only that, but all women were roughly around the same age. I don't know if a Karen convention was in town or what. Still, that's truly bizarre for that to happen. Coming in at number 9, we have the appearing check. This story was submitted by Reddit user BR Anderson. A couple of years ago, he received a call saying that he had some old fines that he needed to pay. If he didn't pay these fines, he was told he was going to be arrested. The total was $267.63. This was around Christmas time, so the guy was really strapped for money. However, the very next day, he got a check in the mail for $267.63. The exact amount he needed to pay the fines. Apparently, he had overpaid for child support throughout the years, and this was the amount given back to him. That is wild. Like, the amount is same down to the cents. It's insane. In our 8th spot today, we have the doppelganger. It's believed that every person has roughly 6 doppelgangers out there in the world. Have you ever met one of your doppelgangers? Let me know in the comments below. Well, this woman did. She was at a Coldplay concert in Gothenburg, Sweden, when she found her twin. She had the same blonde hair, and eerily enough, they were wearing the exact same outfit. Round shades with a gold trim and a beige trench-style raincoat. So not only did they look alike, but they dressed alike as well. In our 7th spot today, we have the time jump. This next individual has experienced a time jump on multiple occasions. He'd leave work and somehow get home in 5 minutes, when the drive was 15 to 20 minutes. But he's not the only one that says that this has happened. Other people have shared similar stories on the exact same road. It even happened to his friend that rode in the same car with him. He noticed this jump as well. It's super strange. This road somehow teleports them or something. I have no clue. They have definitely found a glitch though. Coming in at number 6, we have the blue-haired ladies. Now, blue hair is pretty cool, but it's not common. Like, not every day do you go out and see someone rocking bright, bold blue hair. So what are the odds that 2 women with blue hair and similar outfits appear in the same place together, and they're strangers? So this woman was visiting the US for the first time when she met someone that was dressed identical to her while she was at the Met. They both have blue short hair and are wearing gray coats and yellow scarves. I'm gonna say this a lot in today's video, but seriously, what are the odds of this happening? Like the outfit, the hair, everything. Come on, what are the odds? We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the teleporting man. This next man and his brother were walking through the West Town Mall in Knoxville, Tennessee, when they saw this interesting man. He was 6'5", was carrying a staff, and wore a floor-length black duster jacket. The man was just a bit ahead of them when he turned towards the exit and left the mall. That's when they lost sight of him. Not more than 30 seconds later, out pops this guy right in front of them. He was now at the opposite end of the mall. Now, according to the narrator, this mall is huge. It would take at least 5 minutes to walk the length of it. But somehow, this guy exited the mall and ended up in a different area in 30 seconds. So what, he went outside and sprinted around the mall to the other entrance? It doesn't really make sense. This man glitched and somehow teleported. Or there's 2 of him, I don't know. Coming in at number 4, we have the opposite twins. This photo I'm about to show you is of 2 strangers who got on the same train, but just at different stations. And they just so happened to be wearing opposite colors. Take a look. They got the same sweaters on. The guy on the left has an orange sweater with green hair, and the guy on the right has a green sweater with orange hair. Plus, it's literally the same sweater, just opposite colors. I just love how they match each other's hair. Like, it was meant to be. They better have talked and became best friends after that, because that is truly bizarre. And it was meant to be, I feel like. Moving on to number 3, we have the radar detector. So this man was driving down a highway in Ohio when his radar detector went off. So he slammed on his brakes and slowed right down. And right over the hill that he was driving on, there indeed was a squad car running radar. And he almost got caught. So he was super relieved. However, when he looked over to the detector, which is normally on his windshield, he noticed it wasn't even there. In fact, it was unplugged and sitting in his glove compartment. But it literally went off seconds before. That's how we knew that the radar was there. In any sense, this glitch helped him avoid getting a ticket, so there you go. Coming in at number 2, we have the changing hotel. So this next family was driving to Florida to go to Disney World with their kids. They decided to make the drive instead of flying to save some money. But since the drive would take about a day and a half, they made a pit stop at a hotel for the night. However, the next morning, when they woke up, they found themselves in their hotel in Disney, which makes absolutely no sense. Maybe that's the magic of Disney, I don't know. Like, they checked into the Best Western, and the next thing they're at Disney? I mean, that glitch certainly worked out in their favor. They didn't have to continue driving the next day, but like, they just somehow teleported to Disney in their sleep? It makes no sense. I am confused. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the frozen time. This next individual experienced a weird glitch in which time froze. So she was in her room when she decided to go down to the kitchen and make herself a sandwich. She clocked the time and it was 6:48 p.m. She went to the kitchen, made a sandwich, got some chips, my favorite, and even poured herself a drink. This took her at least 10 minutes. When she got back into her room, she checked the clock and it was frozen at 6:48 p.m. She even checked her phone. Sure enough, it was still at 6:48 p.m. Then all of a sudden it changed to 6:49. So somehow time froze, or she managed to get all that food made in less than a minute. Again, I am confused. This makes no sense. Maybe we are living in a matrix or a simulation. I don't know. Starting off this countdown, we have the London Tube. This individual was in the London Tube when a good-looking girl sat down opposite of him. She had brown hair and a red coat on and a very distinct tattoo on her wrist. A little while later, the lady gets off and another woman gets on. This woman was wearing a beige trench coat, but looked exactly like the brunette woman. They had the same face and everything. She then took off her coat and he noticed that she had the exact same tattoo on her wrist. Again, it was a pretty distinct tattoo. It wasn't like an affinity symbol with love written in it, but that's not all. Before she got off at her stop, she answered a call and started speaking in Italian. This is the exact same thing that the brunette woman did. The weirdest part, they both had the exact same conversation before getting off the train. Someone literally said copy paste, just change their outfits, there you go. Unless they were twins and just trying to fool people, I don't know. In our 9th spot, we have the 2 different mornings. This story was submitted by Reddit user 1000 Punches. One morning, they got out of bed and did their normal morning routine, brushed their teeth, had breakfast, you get it. Then they decided to play on their Nintendo DS for a bit before practicing some guitar. That's when suddenly he found himself in his car headed to Barnes & Noble. He pulled over being like, "Hey, what is going on?" That's when he remembered a completely different morning routine. He got up, watered his plants, cleaned, and then hopped into his car. So he had 2 different mornings in one day, and he remembered both. It's pretty wild if you ask me. In our 8th spot, we have the wife times 2. One evening, a man and his wife were coming back home from dinner when something unexplainable happened. As they opened the door to their house, he saw his wife in the house already, sitting at the computer doing work. But his wife was beside him. He shook it off and went straight to bed. While in bed, he told his wife what he had seen, and that's when she got very serious. Apparently, as they entered the house, she too saw herself sitting at the computer. How creepy. Like, how do you explain having another random version of yourself? And the fact that they both saw it makes it even weirder. That's how you know they weren't just hallucinating. Doubt they were meant to see that glitch. In our 7th spot today, we have the car crash. This next individual was driving along, about to make a right-hand turn at a red light, when they heard the sound of crushing metal. He looked over and he saw a red car with its front all smashed in. It looked as if the driver drove into a wall. However, there was nothing around that it could have crashed into. He got out of his car to go help the passenger, and that's when he saw that no one was in the car. Where the heck did that car come from? What did it crash into? How did the crash happen? And most importantly, where did the driver go? Like, I have so many questions. Coming in at number 6, we have the bug. One day, this individual was chasing a bug around their apartment, trying to kill it, when all of a sudden, it froze in mid-air. He claims that it wasn't hovering, it was just as if it was literally frozen, like somebody pressed pause, like Adam Sandler in Click. His girlfriend came over asking what was going on, and that's when all of a sudden the bug disappeared into thin air, right before both of their eyes. It's as if the bug just teleported out of the room. So either the FBI has created teleporting robo-bugs that can spy on people, or they witnessed a glitch in the Matrix. Either way, I don't think they should have seen this. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the fish market. Imagine waking up and having a completely different life. That is what happened to this next man on today's list. He woke up, got dressed, and had his breakfast before heading out to the docks to sell fish all day. Except this man is not a fish vendor. He is a married man who has never worked in the fish market ever. Yet somehow he lived a life he didn't have for a day. The next day he woke up back in his own bed. Now some may say that this was all just a big vivid dream, but this guy knows it was more than that. He even woke up smelling of heavy cigarette smoke and fish. The fish vendor was a smoker. He is not. In our 4th spot, we have the Friends glitch. Reddit user I Am Angelin tells his strange glitch in the Matrix experience. One evening, he was getting off of Rotterdam subway when he spotted an old friend that he hadn't seen in years getting onto the subway. He called out his name and his friend turned to him, waved, and then did the whole call me, gesture. Then he hopped on the subway. 30 seconds later, his phone rang. It was his friend who he had just seen. Except his friend lived over 200 kilometers or 125 miles away from him. He claims that he saw Angelin getting into the subway near him. He called out to Angelin, and Angelin was the one that turned and waved and did the call me gesture. So they both witnessed the same thing, just reversed. And both people were in completely different places when it happened. Now this is the definition of weird. In our 3rd spot, we have the credit card numbers. So this woman was doing some online Christmas shopping when she went to check out and pay. Now she had her credit card numbers memorized, so she just plugged it in and proceeded to check out. Only when she checked out, the website told her that the credit card numbers were wrong. So she decided to grab her card and double check. That's when she realized that her credit card numbers were completely different. She had this card for a couple of years now, and all of a sudden, the numbers had changed. And for sure, it was her card. Like, it had her name on it, the code on the back was the same, and the expiry date was the same. But the numbers itself were completely different. She thought maybe she was remembering her old credit card's numbers, but at last, she was not. To this day, she still doesn't understand as to what happened and how the numbers on her card just randomly changed. In our second spot today, we have Mr. No Face. Reddit user Onion of Benzis was out driving one day when he came across a very odd driver. The man had no face whatsoever. He had no features at all. His face was just blank. He was so baffled that he stared at him for as long as he could to make sure that he wasn't just seeing things. Sure enough, this man just didn't have any facial features. His face was completely smooth. Like, that is very scary. What would you do if you came across some Slender Man looking man? Okay? I'd freak out and probably never sleep again. And in our number one spot today, we have The Delay. One night, this individual was sitting downstairs watching TV when he heard a few loud bangs from the stairs. It sounded as if his brother tumbled down the stairs, so he ran to go see if he was okay. But when he got there, nothing was there. He shook it off and went back to watching TV. Now, just as he sat down, his brother fell down the stairs. This time, for real. This is the case of like the audio and visual components being out of sync.